first year I've done this show has been an up and down roller coaster of learning, loving, growing, and being a little afraid at times. So it's just beautiful that I'm here this evening. We've made it a whole year, and I'm so honored to be here tonight with my guest, which I will bring on in a second, Dr. Dream. And so it's going to be an amazing one-year anniversary show. But before I start, I just want everybody to put their hand on their heart right now real quick. I know the energies are really intense right now with everything that's happening. And just take a deep breath in and just very quickly ground yourself into this present moment. Ground yourself into your heart. Allow your heart to open and be in the present of now, in the love of you, being here, having this experience that we are this evening, enjoying the beautiful energy that's going to come forth, and allow yourself to open, receive, and heal. So as I was getting ready for the show tonight, my little Rumi pocketbook, pocket Rumi jumped out at me. And there was a little insert here that I was directed to share with you tonight. So it's called The Soul Garden. Just as the heart becomes carefree, in a place of green growing plants, goodwill and kindness are born when our souls enter happiness. And I thought that was such a beautiful little quote, because that's where we are right now. We're moving into the world of learning how to be happy, and I love the acronym, from the word hope, which is kind of came, it's like happy, hypnotized, personal, now I lost what my train of thought, what I was going to say, personal exploration of you. So moving out from where we've been into this new happy place, because it's there, the dream's there, everything's there. And that's why I'm so inspired and I'm so honored for the guest that I have this evening, Dr. Dream. I met Dr. Dream, it's a few years ago when he was traveling through Jacksonville, maybe 3 or 4 years. I'm not even really sure right now. And the moment I met him, I knew he was an example of the new world energy, of the new energy that we should all look to be in, that we should walk in. And I followed him over the years as he has grown and watched his beautiful growth and what he brought to the world with that. Just as I said, if you could see a poster child of the new energy and how we should function and how we should be in this world in a space of love, to me, Dr. Dream is that person. And he is just such an inspiration to me, how he ran his business, how he just trusted people, and he opened his heart to always be there with no judgment. And then recently, a couple of weeks ago, which I'll allow him to tell his story, on 9/11, he had a double stroke. So now he's in this beautiful new transformation of this healing process with this amazing technology he's found that is he's just a walking miracle. And I'm so honored. I can't even tell you how honored I am that he has decided to he's chosen to come on my show tonight, to be here, to express who he is, what he's about, and his beautiful healing he's gone through. And just kind of whatever comes, to send that love out into the world, he is just the essence of love, the rose frequency. And that's what he's all about, bringing hope and love and joy to this world. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Dr. Dream. And let's see. And there he is. Are you there?
I am so here. And there were moments in the last month that I didn't think I'd be saying those words about anything. And so I'm honored to be here. And I have to say that since the double stroke, I've always been an emotional person, but since the stroke, I'm even more emotional. And what you said brought me to tears with the introduction. So let's hope I can make it through the next hour without completely falling apart.
And if you do, it's okay too, because learning to express and feeling is what it's all about right now. So. And I think we're going into Mercury retrograde, aren't we? And the energies are all up. I don't really follow astrology, but
this whole year seems like it's in retrograde of one type or another.
It has, but it's a beautiful transformation. I mean, our whole world is going through this beautiful transformation, and we're in the kind of the muck of the lotus right now as we move up through it. So, but for all those listening this evening, as I said, thank you for coming on the show. And I'm just going to let you go with where you want to go right now, starting with your experience, your life experience you're having right now, and explain the beautiful technology behind you, which I'm feeling the energy of that. So everybody might need to drink a lot of water during this show.
Well, it has, it's been quite the experience. I maybe we back up just a little bit to this year. In February, we stopped the tour of love as everything was expanding. And so, quarantining or lockdown in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico at a hot springs. And for 56, 57 days, we soaked every single day and basically saw no people. There's a Riverbend Hot Springs in Truth or Consequences that's just amazing. And that was our lockdown experience, and we realized so different than what many others experienced, and we felt very fortunate. And then shortly after that, my 39-year-old brother passed away. And so two really major shocks in my life experience. January of 2010 under the banner of Tour of Love. And we've done almost 700 events in the last 11 years. And so having that stop and canceling all of our dates was a bit of a shock to us. And it was obviously tempered by the hot springs for 56 days. And so we were like, okay, this is, we can handle this.
And I don't mean to interrupt, but can you explain what your Tour of Love is for those people that might not be familiar with your work that are tuning in here this evening?
Absolutely. So the Tour of Love is it's a tour of love, and that's the foundation of it. But it's presented with Tibetan healing bowls, chocolate and chakra chocolates, and essential oils. And I started the tour in January of 2010. We had times early on in the tour. I'll never forget Haley, Idaho. We had one person show up for that event. And by the time we stopped the tour in February, we were consistently getting 200, 300, 400, 500 people at our standalone events. And we would present 33, 55, 111, 222, or our signature experience with 333 Tibetan healing bowls, all being presented in one experience with up to 85 people, angels, Dr. Dream and his band of angels, so up to 85 angels assisting us. And we would do 50 to 70 events a year. When I first met you, it was a little over 4 years ago. It was my first time to Florida. It was almost exactly 4 years ago.
Yes, I'm glad you remember that, because I didn't.
Someone posted something on my page of when they first met me, and I thought, oh my gosh, that was first Florida tour. The second Florida tour, Stephanie and I did 17 events in 23 days. And just been doing events all over the country. There's very few places it feels like we haven't been. And it quickly became obvious to me that this is what I'm to do here. I've known all along that I'm to be in service to what's happening with humanity, the expansion of humanity, the expansion of ourselves into our truest selves. And when I say we, I'm talking about my partner, Stephanie. And here, I'm just going to show you Stephanie for just a moment. She's right there with a tower of monitors behind her. And we just attached ourselves to, this is what we do here. This is who we are, and this is what we're about. And then jump forward to February 2020. All of a sudden, that's not who we are. I mean, that's sort of taken away. We canceled 20 dates or something. It's not easy for us to get bookings, for anyone. And it was painful, every phone call we had to make. And this is before it was like, you have to cancel events. We were kind of at the beginning of that. And the universe made it really clear to us. We tried to leave a town in New Mexico, Santa Rosa, New Mexico, 2 different times, and broke down within 3 miles of the town and had to be towed back to town. And finally, I'm like, okay, the universe is telling us we need to stop. But that's how much we didn't want to, because it became our identity. And so then kind of dealing with all that, and then the passing of my brother, which was shocking and more than traumatic for me. I don't have a big family. And we made our way through all of that. And then on 9/11, we're in Idaho, and Stephanie was at her family's place that evening, and I was soaking in a hot springs, in lava hot springs, Idaho, and I got really, really weak, and I thought, oh, the hot water, I better get out, and I couldn't get out of the tub, and I thought, okay, I'll just sit here for a few minutes. And I gathered myself, and I was able to get out of the tub and into a chair. There was nobody else around me. I was in a tub all alone, and I got into a chair, and I tried to get up to leave, and I couldn't. Well, it's a body work earlier in the day. I had some and a pretty hardcore session with one of the people that I go to for healing. And I thought, wow, I've just really pushed myself today, and now this hot water is just draining everything else out of me. I made it back the 200 feet to my RV, our trailer that we call our sanctuary on wheels. I called Stephanie and I said, honey, please, she was going to spend the night at her family's place an hour away. And I said, please come here to the trailer. I'm having an issue. And she came and she got there, and I felt fine. Everything felt great.
Interesting.
I thought, okay, this was just, I wasn't thinking stroke. I was sleep.
I think it's internet's. Are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think we lost you for a second.
So I got up the next morning, and I walked to the other room in the trailer, and I fell to the floor, and I couldn't get up. And I said, Stephanie, call an ambulance. I'm having a stroke. And the ambulance came. We got to the emergency room. I was in the emergency room for 9 hours before they acknowledged that I was having a stroke. That's a whole other story. And I spent 11 days in the hospital in Pocatello, Idaho. And they had me pumped up on so many drugs. I had a patch right here that was supposed to work with, what was that one supposed to? It was supposed to help my equilibrium, but it was drugging me so much that I couldn't get my vision. My vision was, I saw 4 of everything for days.
Oh, wow.
And all these other drugs where I'm doing physical therapy, and I'm like looking at my physical therapist in the hospital, and I'm saying, I am so high right now. How do you expect me to do this? And to them, that was all just sort of standard protocol.
Yes.
I was there for 11 days. As soon as I got out, we stopped all the pain meds and all the stuff. We looked at 2 of the drugs we looked at all of them on, WebMed, WebMD or whatever. And 2 of the drugs that they had prescribed to me specifically said, these 2 drugs should never be prescribed together. And so it was just like, what's going on? And we stopped all of that. I stayed on the blood pressure meds, the baby aspirin, the cholesterol meds. And then I'm in this town in Idaho, and the best they had to offer me was a hyperbaric chamber. And it was super challenging because I still don't have full feeling on the right side of my face
Mm-hmm.
and on the left side of my body. And so I found the hyperbaric chamber to be really challenging. Um, we sleep in a room that's 62 degrees at night because I need the cold.
Cold.
My body hasn't been able to regulate temperature, and here I am in this hyperbaric chamber with this bag basically over my head, sweating, and I mean it was almost creating more stress than I could handle, and I just felt like we needed to get out of Idaho, and I got a Facebook message from Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, and we've known each other. She does great work, and she's dedicated to humanity, and she's watched what I've been doing for the last 10, 11 years. And she said, if you can get to Las Vegas, I want you to come to my home. I'm the inventor of this technology. It's called EE system, which is enhanced energy enhanced system. And it's eesystem.com. There's a tremendous amount of research. And she said, if you can get here, we want to treat you, and your treatments are on us.
And that's what's running behind you, correct? You're in session right now as we're live.
It is. We are in session. We're surrounded by 4 towers. You can't see this full tower, but there's 4 monitors on each tower. So we're surrounded by 16 monitors. I cannot explain to you how it works, except it's based in scalar wave technology. It goes back to the very foundation of what Nikola Tesla was working on, and they developed, Sandra and her team have developed these devices over the last decades. I mean, that's how far ahead of the curve they are.
I'm going to say go Sandra right now.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, she is, it's Dr. Dream and his band of angels, and it used to be people that signed up to assist us in our experiences, and now it's all these people that are sending me love, praying for me, and stepping up to offer their services, their expertise, their advice, and it's huge. We had our first session here, first session, I was able to get up. We lay in a bed, surrounding each of the corners of the room, have one of these towers, and we lay on this bed and take a nap, focus our intentions, and just receive. And after that session, I was able to get up, walk 100 feet across a marble floor with no walker, no assistance at all, go to the bathroom and walk back to this room. And I'm like, what? Okay, because realize prior to this time, I'm clutching a walker that is my life, so I don't fall. Yes. And just like one session. And it was completely, I want to say unbelievable, but I'm taking that word out of my vocabulary. It was completely manifest as a miracle maker herself, and those energies just all coming together. And so after my 5th session, I posted or my 6th session, I posted a video on Facebook of me walking down the street in front of her home with no assistance at all. And it's a little strange because I think everyone thought, wow, look, he's walking now. And no, it's like after that, I'm back on my walker, and it's been 5 sessions since I put my walker away. Last night, I walked around the RV park we're staying at more than I've ever walked, and I have a cane, but I hold it in my hand like a spear. I have it in case I need it. I don't want to fall and hurt myself, but and all day today, walking, doing things, everything without a cane, without a walker. I mean, this is an exceptional story, and it's got to be based in my, first of all, deep desire to move through this energy. When you all of a sudden don't have functions that you're used to having. All of a sudden you don't have feeling that you're used to having. It's like,
Yeah.
where am I? I'm not in my body. I'm not integrated. And then to be experiencing what I'm experiencing, and I attribute it to, well, these devices, most certainly my positivity and my deep understanding and connection to the fact that I am here embodied as a human to be in service to humanity, and no stroke, no COVID, no nothing is going to get in the way of that. And if I allow it to, for me, it means it's time for me to leave this reality. And so
Yeah.
when all this happened, my mantra became, in every way, in every day, I have to say, I'm getting better. And I would just, in the darkest hours, I would lay in that hospital bed with things hooked up to me, like not able to see things the right way and everything, and just keep repeating that to myself. And it's worked. It's worked. And the people and just you right now to do this. I remember when we first met. I remember, all of that, and it's like, and here we are, and it's you that's giving me the opportunity to tell my story firsthand, and to be my first public, outreach again, and I'm grateful in every moment. I'm
Yes.
grateful for the experience of having the double stroke, because every experience gives us something. And if I slipped into, like, people call themselves stroke victims, they call themselves stroke sufferers. Currently, I like the title stroke survivor, but I'm changing it because I'm a stroke thriver.
Yes.
And that's my energy, and it's a miracle. It's all a miracle. But when you get right down to it, every single one of us is a miracle. Now, how much do we want to expand that in our life and our experience?
Yes. And you're just, as I said, a beacon of hope. As I told you before we got on, I was, my radio show, I've always literally just followed the energy of, as my show has been, I feel like I finally get, like, this is like getting off the training wheels, and now I'm moving to the next level. And as I said, I woke up Monday and I was just like, I had this clear message come through about hope and spreading the hope to the world. And it was basically, you need to contact Dr. Dream right now. And I did. I literally got up. I got on the phone. I sent you a message. And within 10 minutes, you were back. Yes, I'll do it. And I'm like, wow. And that's what we are becoming. That's the energy of what we're moving into, is that beacon of hope and that energy. And it's just so beautiful. Just, the inspiration you were before, and now with this experience, bringing that potentiality to a whole nother level of spreading that to people who are in fear right now. So this is just needed to happen yeah, I can't contain myself.
I mean, I really love it. And I'd like to address social media.
Yes.
I have, I've been out there, and we've had, I don't know how many people come through our experiences that you create. Maybe some of us are lucky enough to get a little glimpse of how we've impacted the world around us and everything. And since this happened, I've had people come out of the woodwork with, you changed my life, and telling me when and what I did and how it affected them. Stories I've never known. And the outpouring of love and support, the people that are praying, the distance healers, everything. It has just, I have not gone a day since this happened without crying tears of joy for how all of everything I've dedicated step up, got this whole community of people thank you, social media. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Instagram, stepping up and lifting me up. Literally every single day. I get up in the morning and I go to social media and I look and see what's going on, and I sit there and I cry for a bit because it's just so incredibly touching. And I knew that my life was humanity. I didn't know that I would need the humanity I touched to come back and serve me the way they have. And it's very humbling, and it adds fire to or fuel to the fire of my desire to be out there again and to step it up. And I don't know what that means or what it's going to look like. The Tour of Love will be back in 2021. We're going to take some time. We're going to base ourselves out of Tucson for a few months and really work on getting everything back in alignment and integrated. We're going to get a puppy.
Oh, wow.
But it's been incredible, and it's the things that you realize in these experiences. And I have to also say that, my doctors in Idaho would still have me on all these drugs, and I would be confined to we had a wheelchair for a couple of weeks. We've sent us back to Idaho, and if I was still on all the drugs that they prescribed me, I'd still be in the wheelchair or the walker. We stopped all the blood pressure meds. I don't take the baby aspirin. We stopped the cholesterol medications. There are times in your life that there's a big push for me to get down to Las Vegas and find a neurologist and find this kind of doctor and get these prescriptions. And I was like, wait a sec, who are you, Dr. Dream? What do you believe in? And you've lived your life. In the last 20 years, I haven't had an actual doctor, and all of a sudden I'm going to go jump into allopathic medicine. I'm like, no, this is what I believe. And I've been alternative from the get-go, and I'm not giving that up. Of all times, this is my time to rededicate and recommit myself to what my truest beliefs are.
Yeah. And what a beautiful example, like stay in that belief. And also, the Western so-called medicine on people, the message of going out, we need to go past what is, the drugs and everything like that, that's, and move into the alternative stuff. Like example, this EES system and the amazing ability, the light, the sound, or whatever, the energy waves, that's who we are. That's what we are. And to move into that healing that we don't even know it's great in an emergency to get us stable, but these things are out there. And what a beautiful message as an example of look where you are right now because of these alternative healings.
Exactly. And I have to say, I am by far not suggesting that everyone stop their meds and anything like that. I'm saying follow your heart, follow your belief system. I have very talented people, Dr. Sandra and others that are guiding me, that are allowing me the space to do what we're relying a lot on muscle testing, on kinesiology. We're testing all different supplements and everything before I take them. My body is telling us exactly what I need. And so I don't want people to think, oh, I'm just by the seat of my pants. I know I freaked people out by telling them I've stopped the blood pressure meds and all this because they don't understand, but I'm doing it under guidance, and I take my blood pressure 3 times a day. We document everything that's going on. I'm paying attention to everything, but I'm having to do it my way, which is, with the choice we all get to make. And yes. Yeah,
that's beautiful. You're standing in that space. And I think that's a great message too. Not even if you're not sick or ill, we really need to listen to our multi-universe inside of our bodies, because it does teach us so much and we forget to listen to it because we're so.
This feeling was
yeah, taught to listen to the doctors or listen to this or listen to that, and feeling in our body is our messengers more so than ever.
My body was telling me that what was being pumped into me was toxic. And then I realized if I get a neurologist down here, they're going to want to pump me full of the iodine or whatever and do these scans. And then they're like, but your kidney will clear that out. I got to tell you, I went through a 2-week detox that was less than comfortable on my emotional body, on my physical body. I'm taking an hour and a half salt bath every single day to detox from everything that's been done, and it's we just got one of these are towers. We got the EE cube, and a sided cube about the size of a coffee table, and we just got that put in our sanctuary on wheels last night.
I saw that.
So now, we still come here to the private clinic, to Dr. Sandra's home, to get the full energy. But then 24/7 in our RV, we have that cube continuing that. And I mean, is it any coincidence that today, after having the cube there all night and everything, no walker, no cane, and walking more distance than I've walked since prior to the stroke? No, it's all absolutely connected, and they have stories here of people. They have set up systems all over the world. You can go to their website and see which ones are available to the public. Many of them are just in people's private homes. It's been that powerful, and so we're just a huge proponent on scalar wave technology, even though I can't explain it and everything else. But the proof is in the pudding, and gosh darn, the pudding's great.
It is. Oh my! And you're talking about before. You were talking about, how everybody's coming together in the community to assist you now, and what a beautiful example of giving and receiving, because you've given so much on your tours and what you've done, and opened your heart with just unconditional love, and just trust, and I just can't. I don't even. The words can't describe, but and then now everything comes around to you're able to receive from all these people giving back to you from everything you've given to everybody that life you ever touched. So, and even from Nepal, from how your bowls came to you and that whole story, it just makes my heart just light up with because it's just how we should live.
Army in Nepal, and I say our family because we went to Nepal in her, and they are our family there. Our supplier, and his family, and just now our extended contacts there. But our main people there that I've been working with for years, he and his wife go to the temple each day and pray for me. It's amazing when, and it's not the first time. When my mother was transitioned a couple of years ago, they had a group of monks that were praying every single day for her. And it's, I'm a giver and everything, and it's taken me a bit to be really see, but any time now, whatever my way, I look at the people and I say I am open to receive. I want to share one other thing that's interesting. I love you more than since I had the strokes, and I'm finding it interesting the people that are able to say it back to me. And so I just want to put it out there. I mean, anytime anyone sends anything, does anything, I respond with a thank you, I love you. And I think a lot of us aren't able to receive it's readily available. And there isn't a person that could cross my path that I don't love. no matter where they're at in their experience, that's playing out for them. And that's truly what the tour of love has been.
Yes.
But it's a little fascinating, and it's been a reflection for me when love you and someone says, "Oh, me too," or "Thank you." They don't. I know people just kind of don't know how to respond sometimes because they're not used to people that aren't their significant other or their family members directly. So saying that, other people saying it, and it every time for me that I feel that energy, I'm like, there must part of me that still needs help, learn how to receive also. Otherwise, I wouldn't be getting that reflection. So, Rebecka, I love you.
Dr. Dream, I love you. And Stephanie too, because I know she's hiding there in the corner. Oh, I'm just loving this raw vulnerability. It's just so beautiful. It really is. And I wanted to bring up, I don't know, people might check, look at this in the future and maybe not know who you are or what you do. If you could tell just a little bit about the bowls, because they are just the most amazing bowls. I have a few myself, and the story of how they came to you. We have to go long, but the short story so that, the viewers can know like the little story about how the village and how I just love the story of the bowls. And I'd love for you to share that because it's just such a beautiful story.
Well, we were the bowls and had a group in Nepal that were making the bowls for us, and then the earthquake came along, and we never.
I think we lost you for a second.
Am I back?
I think you're back. I think that the technology behind you, does it change like frequencies or something?
It could. I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is all frequencies.
Yeah, it's frequency based. I can feel. Joyce Benally said, "Love you, Dr. Dream. Get well so you can come back to Florida." So I've noticed like you keep on going away and you're there, and I noticed that the shift of the energy on the screen. So I think it's we're sending out some extra energy on the waves here.
Dr. Sanders said you're going to do this in the session room. People are going to feel this.
I know, how amazing! Oh my gosh, thank you for this. This is just awesome.
So
back to the bowls.
We've been talking about the impact that the earthquake had, but we never really fully understood it until we got there in December. We spent the month of December in Nepal, and when the earthquake happened, we stepped up our efforts. It was at a time that our tour was expanding, so our need for bowls was expanding, and came a bright light of hope for a whole lot of people. And we got to Nepal and realized that we became a bright light of hope for a whole lot of families, because it's not people that are making our bowls. It's literally families making our bowls in their homes. They can make a bowl every day and a half, and they're doing this in many different areas in Nepal. And it was, as I say, we spent December there, and we got to see the faces, the children. We got to see the people that your purchase of a bowl and everyone else's purchase of a bowl has been supporting. And we got hugs, got smiles, and again realized the rip effect of everything we've been doing. And it's been a very, very powerful experience. So I don't believe in any orders. I don't believe I love living here in the United States, but autism is overrated because being really pathetic means that we are better than other countries and this and that. And I wish the word for being patriotic to the earth, to humanity, because it's all one people, and that's been big really, really big for us. And so we love this connection. At the time that we stopped the tour, we were up to sending $13,000 every single month, and that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money by our standards, but let me tell you, by Nepali standards, it's a huge amount of money. And I guess we realized that when we got over there, we really realized, how we've been helping.
And that's
and
beautiful.
the impact that a person that gets one bowl, and on the tour we made it really easy for people to get bowls. We would tell them how many months do you want to stretch this out? Like, is $15 a month can work for you? And people would come up with tears in their eyes, saying, I could never get a really nice bowl before because I didn't have them. You've made it possible. Well, it's the Nepali families and that made that possible for us to do. And so it's been incredible. We up until the stroke, we've been still sending money now with the stroke and hospital bills, and I'm not insured and everything else. We've kind of been doing some things, and our people completely understand. We'll be back here in the next month or two, fully supporting at that we can. But it's all about working together and creating opportunities that are win for everyone. We've never wanted to have, like, oh, we're making out like bandits, whatever about everyone else. That's old school business, and we're not that. And so it's been a powerful experience, and it has others how they do business. There's a way to do business and be abundant where it can still work with everyone else without taking advantage of people or situations.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful example because we're so caught, people nowadays are so caught up with the slavery of money, I'm going to say, that the new energies of who we are doesn't have to be that way. It's communing together and being the oneness of everything. And just as a perfect example of what you were and what you did with the people, with the families in Nepal. I mean, that is the world we should live in, so we can work together as one to have the abundance of it all in the world that we live in today, and not the greed and everything that we've so been, it just swamps our whole world right now. So as I said, once again, that's why I love you're such a beautiful example of the new world energy, because you've basically been living it for years, as far as I'm concerned. That's my point of view.
There's the right way to be in this world, and as much as we can in each moment, we strive to always live and be the right way. I want to share this bowl right now with everyone. This is a solar plexus bowl. The note is an E, which is relates to the solar plexus, and this particular bowl is 165 hertz. That's the frequency of this bowl, which is the frequency of emotional acceptance. And so allow me just for a moment to share this bowl and this frequency with everyone. And whatever anyone's dealing with right now, I know that many in the United States are very caught up in the politics, and it's created the Great Divide. Remember that there is this strategy of divide and conquer. Don't allow that to happen. No matter who you support, you're a human being, and I love you, and it makes no difference to me, and I wish everyone would sort of align. But this emotional acceptance, and so whatever you're dealing with, if you're watching this right now, you're hearing this right now, whatever it is that you want to wrap up in emotional acceptance so it can integrate with who you truly are instead of being a trigger and instead of creating divides amongst us. Please allow that to happen. This is 165 hertz, sacral chakra, emotional acceptance. and just feel it riding the scalar wave energy to your heart, into your very being, and just let go of whatever it is that is not emotionally accepted in your field.
Mm. Whew.
And then let's just do one more. Actually, we've got 2 more rolls out, so let's do that. I'm going to.
It's like a mini tour of love.
That's right. That's exactly right. We would be remiss if we didn't jump from the sacral chakra and emotional acceptance into the heart chakra. Mm-hmm. And so this will is for the heart chakra. And so as we've allowed acceptance into the top of our lower chakras, our sacral chakra, let's now allow it to expand and take complete ownership in our heart chakra. And now we're just going to cap it off with the very first bowl that I owned from our family in Nepal. It is an A bowl for the third eye, and the frequency that I knew nothing about before I got this bowl, and I said, what's that number mean? The frequency is 108 hertz, and when I type into Google 108HZ and hit enter, it said 108 hertz equals total knowing. And we talked about a lot of stuff so far in this show, and discernment is key. And so let's play this bowl so we can attach ourselves to knowing is right for each of us in each moment, and to allow each of us to take whatever needs to be taken action, because if you're here, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, there's something for you. It may not be everything I've said. I would seriously be concerned as everything I said, but there's a piece of the listening frequency of knowing. Let's allow it to show us what our piece is, the takeaway in this. And so this is the A bowl for the third eye. The frequency is 108 for total knowing. Makes me want to start up the tour right away and get back out there on the road.
You know, you could come on my show anytime and do a mini tour. You could do it. Yes. Oh my gosh. That was so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. And I'm sure everybody did. It was so interesting with what's going on behind you, and the energy of the bowl on top of it was amplified. So we are sending, or I should say, you are sending some major vibes out to the world today over the internet. So Stone, there's a couple little messages here. I'll just let you know. Let's see. David Gregory, which is my husband, said, so happy to see you, Dr. Dream. Much love. And I read Joyce's. Carolyn came on. Beautiful. Thank you. Love the vibration. Stone Percy said, love you, brother. Awesome show. Thank you both. And Joyce said, yes. So she's agreeing to the energy and what we just said. So a few little messages are popping up here. So how fun is that? And gosh, can you believe it's 8:49 already? You're doing awesome. We're just flowing along here. And I know, you know, I want to say once again, it's, you know, that you came on the show tonight. It's once again an honor to me. And it has also been an honor celebrating you. And I know it's my anniversary show of this show, but for me, it was like my way of just being here and being able to celebrate what you've been through from everything you've given to everyone and the journey you're on now. And I wanted to ask you, like, what you've been through, this little life event that has happened. What is the biggest takeaway that you could share that as you're moving through, you're coming out of, that you like, if anything comes to you, like to share with anybody who's listening now or listening to in the future on YouTube? So I put you on the spot.
Excellent question. I'm still deep in my process of, once you get past, okay, I'm going to live, okay, I'm going to walk, and everything else, the natural place for me to go is, okay, God, source, universe, reality, why this? One thing came to me right away, and that was that I always said that if I'm not being source to humanity, I shouldn't be here. And so watch out what you say, people, because with the strokes, what I realized was I was starting to get a little bit like, oh, this is nice. Look, we're traveling to national parks. We got the kayak on top of the truck. We're biking all over. Could I retire? It's the tour started to seem like after months of not doing, and we were on and off the grid. People weren't looking for phone calls. I do the charge phone calls. I'm not doing them right now. All of that started to drop off. I maybe only have 3 or 4 people that were consistent, still doing the calls. And there was an aspect of my reality that's like, hey, maybe you've kind of done your thing, and now let's hunt and let's just go national park to national park and forest to forest and mountain to mountain. And I'm sure that's not the end of my processing of it, but it was really clear to me that I've set on. I didn't come here for the med reality. I came here to be in service, and I really felt like part of the message for me was, hey, Dr. Dream, getting away from what it's really about for you to be here. Now, that's not the end of it, but the double stroke was 28, 29 days ago. I'm not even a month away from laying on the floor in my trailer, able to move.
Yes.
It's still a very process, and I imagine, that's why we're taking the time off, and we're going to get set up in Tucson and really make sure that I understand my body like I've never understood it before. We're getting off of all animal proteins. We are, I'm a sugar addict. I've been a shake for years, and it's been my go-to, and somehow my body was fine with it. But that's the other takeaway from this is know your body, pay attention. We went gluten-free 3.5 years ago, cutting out sugar, cutting out proteins. Amazing meal last night. Crab cakes, where the crab is lion's mane mushrooms, and they tasted like the best crab cake I've ever had, and she put edible flour on top. I mean, it was just like, so we're really focusing on our health and our bodies, and many of you know that Steph is a bit younger than myself, and as soon as this happened and was making changes, I said, we're going to make some changes because I want to be 120 so I can see you in your 90s.
And that's beautiful. And that's, getting creative with food, that's part of creating an expression as well. So, and tell Stephanie I want her to send me that recipe.
Yes, we'll get that to you. David will flip. It is absolutely amazing.
Awesome. Let's see. We have a couple more comments here, and then actually it's 8:55, so we're almost to the end. So Lily said, I'm so glad for Dr. Dream. And she was saying whether his healing was a placebo or own inherited good vibration. It's wonderful. I found the ES system rather dubious. Has anybody else tried their system and found that it worked? So Lily, I don't have an answer for you. So I haven't used it, but I only know this beautiful soul who has experienced it. So that's all I can ask for you. And Carolyn said, so awesome. I've been guided to do the same. Listen to the body is the key. Oh, is key.
Right,
so that's
you know,
and maybe you have something to share with Lily's question that she had.
Yeah, I'd love to address that. I mean, with the leading edge technologies, and it goes against a lot of what we think. I've been meeting people that are here in session before I get here and after. I've been meeting people that had cancer and no longer do. The documentation of some of the stroke survivors that they hear is outrageous, and so there is absolutely something to it. If you go to the website eesystem.com, the research is incredible, and it's a real deal. I mean, I'm a testimonial to it, and so. You know, but people make your decisions, and Bob was right. It may not be for everybody, but I believe this will be a very common type of technology that is healing people.
Well, I have to agree with you on that one. And it's always following your own truth and what's in your heart for everyone out there. So, because everybody's truth's their own truth, and I'm a firm believer in that. So very quickly, we're almost done. We've got to end our show. So I want to thank you. And you are offering a special gift. We have a couple minutes, which will be on the YouTube description. So if you want to tell them about that, we get a gift tonight, which is awesome. And then we're going to have to wrap the show up.
Very quickly, our website is touroflove.com. And if you go to touroflove.com/manifest, all in lowercase, you can download our 21-day manifestation program. And it's powerful. It's a tool for focusing your mind, your heart, your energy on what you want to attract into your life. And we offer that up as a gift to everyone. And I'm just grateful seriously, I'm grateful to be here breathing and moving around and walking, and so much gratitude to be on your 1-year anniversary show and to share with you. And you've given me tonight to share my energy with everyone.
Oh my gosh. As I said, I am so honored. I am so grateful. My heart is full from this interview, and not even interview, just basically, as I said, celebrating you. So, I really just a treasure. You're such a treasure and a blessing. Just so is everyone else on this world. So just remember who you are, stay in your heart, stay in your truth, and listen to your body.
I love you all.
Love you all. Sending out the love, because it is Exploring Universal Love tonight. So I want to thank everyone out there for joining the Cosmic Tune-Up Happy Hour anniversary show with the wonderful Dr. Dream, who I'm sure we'll hear about more as he moves along his healing process here, and relax and enjoy. Joyce said thank you. And further ado, I thank everyone. Put your hand on your heart. Take a deep breath. Give yourself a huge love and feel the love of you, because that's what it's all about. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Have a wonderful evening.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.